My name's Patrick Shanahan. I'm a volunteer with the Walnut Hills Neighborhood Association, and I'm doing a demonstration of a blower door that was loaned to us by the Dayton Energy Collaborative. The number one thing you should do when you're trying to make your historic home more green is address air leakage, and the ideal way to do that is with a blower door test. It's not essential, but it is ideal, and there are a couple of reasons for that. The first reason is that in most homes, the biggest source of energy consumption is for heating and cooling, and it's also the biggest source of wasted energy. On average, about 1/3 of all the energy you use to condition your home is totally wasted due to drafts and air leaks. And air leaks are also one of the easiest things to address. You can fix most air leaks with a couple cans of spray foam and a couple tubes of caulk. So it's the best bang for your buck. And it's the most accessible, low-hanging fruit in terms of making your home more efficient and more comfortable. So a blower door test, what it does is we turn on this fan to displace air. We blow air out of the house, and that creates a negative pressure. So by displacing air to the outside of the house, air will move in to replace it, and that air will move in through gaps and cracks and drafts in your home. So the draftier your house is, the more quickly that displaced air will be replaced. And what the blower door test does is it gives you a precise measurement of exactly how much air is leaking into your house. Because most of us know that our homes have drafts, we just don't know the exact amount of air. So the biggest advantage of a blower door is that it gives you a precise measurement, and it gives you a really precise idea of how drafty your home is and exactly how much time and energy you should expect to put in to fixing those drafts. Absolutely. So this isn't strictly for historic homes. Regardless of the age of your home, anybody can benefit from having a blower door test done, because regardless of whether you live in a historic home or a modern home, the biggest source of energy consumption for you is more than likely still going to be heating and cooling. And about 1/3 of all that energy is still being wasted, regardless of the age of your home. So I have the blower door set up in an exterior doorway. It's essential for the door to be set up in an exterior doorway, so the air can be displaced to the outside of the house. The frame on this blower door is adjustable so that it can fit into different size doors. It's really critical to make sure you have a tight fit and a really tight seal inside the door, because if the seal isn't tight enough, it will throw off the readings and it'll make your house appear to be draftier than it actually is. So before you begin the blower door test, as a safety precaution, you should turn off your furnace. This will help avoid drawing any hazardous fumes up into your living area. You might also want to put away any papers or other objects that might get displaced by the movement of air, because this will create a breeze throughout the house. You also want to make sure all your interior doors are open, so that the flow of air throughout the house is unrestricted. So now I'll start the test. I'm going to gradually increase the speed of the fan until the house is at a negative pressure of 50 pascals. Once the house is depressurized to 50 pascals, I'll take a look at the reading on the meter here to see how many cubic feet of air per minute is moving through the fan. Okay, so we're done with the test. We managed to depressurize the house to the target pressure of 50 pascals. And at 50 pascals of negative pressure, this house has about 3,500 cubic feet per minute of air passing through it. So the next step is to calculate what the volume of this house is in cubic feet, and then we will divide the volume of the house by 3,500, and that'll give us a number called the air changes per hour, or ACH. Air changes per hour is a measure of how many times in the course of an hour the total volume of your house is turning over. How many times does the total air volume turn over? And once you have that number, you can reference these green building codes that exist, and these green building codes will tell you what is the ideal amount of air leakage to have in your home? What is the target number of air changes that you want? You don't want your air changes to be 0, because if your air changes per hour is 0, that means you're suffocating in your own home. So you do want a little bit of airflow, but you don't want so much airflow that you're wasting energy and wasting money on your energy bills. So we finished the blower door test. We know that at a pressure of -50 pascals, there is roughly 3,500 cubic feet of air moving through this house. So now we have to do a little bit of math to figure out what the air change per hour is in this house. So I know that the square footage of this home is 1,832 square feet. We can guesstimate a little bit and say that it's 8 foot high ceilings throughout the house. So we'll multiply 8-foot ceilings by 1,832 square feet, and that gives us the volume, the volume in cubic feet of this house, which ends up being right around 15,000 cubic feet. So we take that volume of the house and we divide it by the cubic feet per minute of air that's moving through, which is roughly 3,500, and that comes out to 4.18. So about 4.18 air changes per hour. So over the course of 1 hour, the total volume of this house is turning over about 4 times, and that's really exceptional for a house this age. The greenest building codes that exist recommend that you have about three air changes per hour. So there's not a whole lot of air sealing work that needs to be done in this house. It doesn't really need to be more airtight. So probably these homeowners are ready to move on to the next step and look into retrofitting their windows or potentially installing solar panels. Typically for a professional blower door test and energy audit, you'd be looking to spend somewhere in the range of $300 to $500. We provide this service for free, just on a volunteer basis, because it's something that we care about. Some things that we're not able to offer is none of us are qualified to perform whole home energy audits, and because we're not professionally certified, you can't get a tax write-off for this.